So hi, welcome to the new video, and today we are going to see our next LeetCode question, that is the question number 27, remove element. So basically in this question we have given an input array named as nums and a integer value named as val, and through which we have to remove all the elements which are equal to the value in that array, and after that we have to return the number of elements which are not equal to that value in this array. So let's see an example. So we have given an input array nums which consists some elements in it, an integer val which consists of value, and we have to remove all the elements which are equal to the value in this array. So here the value is 3, and as we seen there are two elements that are equal to the value. So in the output we have to return the number of elements that are not equal to the value. So here there are two numbers which are not equal to the value, so the output is 2, and our nums array should look like 2 2 and underscore underscore. So let's see approaches of this problem. So let's see our first approach, that is the approach number 1, 2 pointers, and this is a single direction approach. First step of this approach is initialize the index at 0, and this index counts the number of elements which are not equal to our value. So in the second step is for each loop we are running a for loop in this, and for each element from the left to right, if current element is not equal to the value, and then copy this element to the nums of I. After that increment I, and after successfully completion of this for loop we are returning the value of I, and this value of I has number of elements which are not equal to our value. So let's see an example of this approach. So in the input array we have given a nums array which consists of values 3 2 2 3 and a value 3. So basically in the first step we are initializing an index at 0. So we are initializing index I at 0. In the second step we are running a for loop from left to the right. So we are running the for loop in this array till the last element. In this for loop we are initializing a j index at 0, that means j is firstly here. So in for loop we are checking if the current element is not equal to the value. So current element is 3, value is 3, and both are equal, so we are not going to inside this if iteration. We are again going to for loop. Now our j becomes 1, that means j is here, not here. Again we are going inside the for loop, checking current element is not equal to the value. Current is 2 and value is 3, and both are not equal, that's why we are going inside this if iteration. And in this if iteration, first step is copy the element to the nums of I. So our nums of I now becomes like we are copy this element to this element. Now our new array becomes like 2 2 2 3, and after that we are incrementing I. So now I becomes 1. Again we are in the for loop, and now our j becomes 2. That means j comes here, and again checking current element is not equal to the value, and current element is not equal to the value. So again going inside this if iteration, copy element to the nums of I. Now this element is copied to the this, as nums of I is 1, that means nums of 1. Now again our new array becomes like 2 2 2 3, and after this we are incrementing I. Now I becomes 2. Again our j incremented, and j goes here. Again we are going to the for loop, checking current element is not equal to the value or not, and it is equal to the value, so we are not going inside this if iteration. Again as we reach to the last element, we are going outside of this for loop, and in the last step we are returning I, as our I is 2 now, so we are returning the value 2, and our array looks like 2 2 2 3. But there is a clause in this question, only the number of elements which we return these are considered. That means only these two elements are considered as we return 2, and these both two elements become like underscore, and these are not into consideration. So this could be anything value. So this approach uses time complexity of order of n and space complexity of order of 1. Let's see code of this problem. So let's see code of this problem. So in the first step we are initializing a index I at 0. So index I at 0. In the second step we are running a for loop in this given array, and in this for loop we are checking if iteration, if our current value, that means nums of j is not equal to our value. If it is not equal to, then we are copy nums of j to the nums of I, that means our nums of I becomes nums of j, and after that we are incrementing I, and in last step we are returning I. So let's run this code, and we successfully run it. Let's submit it, and it successfully works. So this approach uses order of n time complexity and order of 1 space complexity.